So the IDF has been in Shifa hospital for several hours now. Let's see what they could have possibly found to justify their genocidal bombing campaign of all the hospitals in Gaza.
So we're inside the MRI center of the Shifa hospital. Israeli troops breached here a few hours ago, and we have cleared the area, make sure that it's safe. And a few of the most interesting things that we have found totally confirm, without any doubt, that Hamas systematically uses hospitals in their military operations in violation of international law. And what we have found, I think, is only the tip of the iceberg. Let me show you a few examples. Security cameras have been obstructed. All of the security cameras are covered, and this isn't the only one. You'll see the rest of them here.
So there's a broken security camera, and therefore that justifies their bombing of the hospital, the sniping of doctors, and preventing food, water, medicine, electricity from getting to 1,000 injured patients.
Machine, and if you follow me behind the MRI machine, I'll show you what our troops exposed just minutes ago. In military terms, this is a grab bag, grab and go of a Hamas combatant. And if you zoom in and we get some light over here.
Why is it in the dark?
There are grenades in here, of course, uniform, and all of this was hidden very conveniently, secretly behind the MRI machine.
A grenade behind an MRI machine? And some metal behind an MRI machine? Yeah, that was totally there the whole time. You didn't put that there yourself afterwards. You're not so stupid that you didn't think about the contradiction of putting metal behind an MRI machine and expecting us to believe that was there the whole time. No.
The cameras, but all of the cameras have been obstructed. You can see there's black tape covering it.
And this, of course, justifies all the atrocities of all the multiple hospitals that they've bombed for the last month.
And when our troops opened this closet here, which is in the main part of the clinic, this is what they found.
You totally couldn't have put those bags there yourself.
The contents of the bag are full military kit for one Hamas terrorist.
All of this, all the bombing and the destruction of the hospital for a bag for one Hamas guy. That's right. And, you know, this guy, Hamas guy, laid out his stuff very neatly on this table, supposedly, so that you could find it, very organized. Yeah, that wasn't planted there.
Let's have a look at what we found inside the very same cabinet. There's insignia, military insignia, a knife. For those of you who read Arabic, you'll be able to understand what it says here. But it's Hamas, the military wing, Kataib al-Qassam, of course a vest with equipment.
Just that one vest, just conveniently laid out just on that one bench at that hospital for him to find. Nothing suspicious about that at all. I mean, if you were going to plant stuff, why didn't you make a stockpile? You know, you promised us a stockpile. Or would have that taken too much time to fake?
And as always, an AK-47, standard gear, grab and go.
Grab and go?
The last item, which I'm sure will be very interesting to analyze, is a laptop.
It's a laptop, guys. That's it. Everything's justified.
We found it in the MRI room. This is how the laptop looks.
That's not a laptop.
I don't know who it belonged to, but now it is being analyzed by our Intel people.
The backpack is being analyzed by their Intel people.
Tactical radio communications, which we will analyze. Lots of discs, which will be analyzed.
He's not just a clown. He's the whole clown car. Most MRI scanners use CDs to print out patient results, which makes sense because this is an MRI hospital that they're in.
And a computer, which at first glance already provides a lot of incriminating evidence.
Incriminating evidence, you can say that again. Notice how in this image the laptop background is blurred? Well, the IDF accidentally uploaded another video where the background wasn't blurred, and lo and behold, the background is actually a picture of a female IDF soldier. So they probably realized their mistake in post-editing and they decided instead of filming the whole thing again, let's just blur it. So this goes to show you that pretty much everything that they've shown us has been planted, including this IDF laptop. The laptop is an Innova ThinkPad T490. It doesn't even take CDs. It doesn't have a CD-ROM. That's the kind of evidence that we come to expect from the Israelis. Fake nurses that turned out to be Israeli actresses lying about hospitals. Like that Al-Qaeda pamphlet that was supposed to be connecting Hamas to Al-Qaeda that was supposed to be found on one of the Hamas guys. The pamphlet that turned out to be just the front cover of a book that is widely available online, and humiliated the Israeli president who announced that thing as evidence. This is very low quality, very makeshift operation. They promised us tunnels, they promised us rockets under the basement of the hospital, they promised us stockpiles and stockpiles, and where is all of that? Now we get a backpack and some CDs. Like, this is a jip. So, they're completely humiliated at this point. There's never would have been any justification for the war crimes that they've committed, but there certainly isn't now. And I'd like to see the faces of the people who try to carry water for these war criminals.
Okay, it's been a few hours now, and the Israelis have spent those hours laying out these weapons neatly and taking a photo op next to a hospital bed. But they found that to be too obvious, so they took the same weapons and they laid them out outside the hospital.
Here is professional Hamas literature, all of it with the official insignia of Hamas. And we have here really a mix of tactical brochures for commanders, how to attack a tank, and what type of ammunition to use in what kind of situation.
The Israelis did not show us any of the tunnels they say are underneath the hospital.
Brochures? This guy's face says it all. I mean, they cut off water and electricity to babies in incubators over this. They bombed the hospital. They murdered thousands. In their own press, the Israelis admit to their genocidal intentions, stating, "The entrance to Shifa is first of all a symbol that there's no place we will not reach." That's right, hospitals, schools, churches, universities. Basically, the Israelis are telling Palestinians that there's nowhere to hide and no depth to which Israel won't stoop. But they seemed so sure they would find tunnels, or a command node as they called it, that they were willing to stake the US's reputation on it. Not that Biden has one after 40 beheaded babies. That's because Israel is the one that built the tunnels under the hospital in 1983, according to the Tablet Mag. They were hoping they could use those tunnels that they built as a photo op to justify their war crimes. But what they didn't expect was the tunnels were concreted up a long time ago. So, for the last 24 hours, Israel has been trying to dig the tunnels up themselves.
What we know is that the tunnel shafts or the basement shafts inside the hospital have been blocked with concrete by Hamas, and thus the army has brought, in addition of tanks to guard the area, has brought bulldozers in order to try and open those shafts and try to reach the basement and possibly the interlacing of underground tunnels underneath the hospital.
Remember that Israel claimed it was a Hamas command center and that they were using it as a staging ground. And now we see it's all concreted up, but no one was using it. But isn't it ironic that Israel accused Hamas of digging tunnels under hospitals, and now they're the ones doing it? Can you imagine how frustrated the Israelis are right now as they're digging?
Buried alive.
Humor aside, Israel has forced Alshifa hospital patients out on the streets in their hospital beds and murdered so many, all for lies. It's important to remember they're actually targeting all the hospitals in Gaza right now. And just now they leveled another neighborhood. It's a genocide.
Make sure you meme this, guys. I'll be disappointed if you don't.
Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like to support me, please find me on Ko-fi or Patreon at Syrian Girl.